Hey everybody, welcome back to Shock and Schlock. I'm your host Herschel Gillis, and today I'm going to be doing a classic review. I think the film is turning 40 this year. It's the sometimes maligned. Um, it's a strange case for this movie. Let's just talk about what it is first. It is Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. Now, Halloween, everybody knows Halloween. If you're a horror fan, you've seen, if not one, most of them. Um, and the one that seems to stick out like a sore thumb, and it does, is Halloween 3. Because after Halloween 1 and 2, John Carpenter sort of stepped away a little bit more. I believe he was a producer and he had stuff to do with this, though. Um, he was wanting to turn Halloween into like an anthology series instead of Michael Myers, and that resulted in Halloween 3. A film which has no Michael Myers, no connection to the rest of the Halloween series at all, away from the fact that it takes place on Halloween and around that time. Um, it was critically panned for a while and has since gained a cult following in the years after. Um, yeah, it's a bit of an odd case. I've always just referred to this one as Season of the Witch, just because it's completely unrelated to Halloween. Um, but yeah, so what is it? So, Season of the Witch um, is about, well, it's a mystery film first and foremost, where a man is investigating this mysterious attack and death of a toy salesman um, who keeps talking about these masks, um, and you know, uh, he like holds on to this pumpkin mask, shown on here as well, and it's everything keeps relating back to this company, Silver Shamrock, which is like this mask Halloween gag company. Um, and there's like a mystery result like revolving around these masks, um, and what they do. And there's this really catchy theme song that plays on these commercials all the time. Tom Atkins is the lead role in this, as our detective. Um, well, I mean, he's a doctor in the film, but he's, for all intents and purposes, he is the detective of the movie. And he goes with the daughter of the man who died clutching the mask, and he's trying to like uncover this mystery, and he uncovers this whole plot involving witches and killer Halloween costumes and children and a whole bunch of other stuff and robots. I won't spoil how any of that relates to the bit. Um, yeah, I don't want to spoil too much about where this goes, but yeah, we do find out what the masks are and what's happening and all that stuff. Um, and it's fun. Um, I'm going to first talk about my likes. I have a couple of dislikes for this one that I do want to mention because there are aspects of this that do not hold up as well as the other parts of the film. Things that do hold up, the vibe is really great. This is probably, away from the original Halloween, my favorite of the series. Um, like, of the original ones at least. Um, but even, like, away from the Halloween series, this is one of my favorite horror movies and movies to watch around Halloween time in general. This one, the vibe of it and everything, this and Trick or Treat, I really feel captured the entire vibe of like fall and Halloween the best. It just feels very, I don't know, fall, for lack of a better description. You'll know when you watch it. It has that like the leaves are turning and all this stuff, and there's creepy stuff in Halloween, and yeah, that whole vibe. This is one of the best movies like about Halloween in general too, in my opinion. It definitely captures that spirit. It's a lot of fun. Um, the gore in this, when it does pop up, is actually pretty good. There's not a ton. This is a fairly light R, or it's fairly tame, even compared to Halloween and everything. This is a little bit more tame, but there are like nasty parts of like worms crawling out of eyes and snakes out of eyes and people getting their face blown up and heads ripped off and everything. It's not frequent, but when it does happen, the special effects are good. I think the acting is pretty good as well. Tom Atkins did a pretty good job as the lead. In this film, the villain in this is actually Sinister. Yeah, it's very solid. It has that '80s horror movie feeling there for sure. But yeah, the music's great, of course. Um, that's always on par with everything in the Halloween series. I mean, even if you don't like the films that are coming later on, the music is always great. But things that I dislike about the movie, I want to talk about that a little bit more as well. Um, Something that doesn't hold up very well is the romantic relationship between Tom Atkins and the daughter of the man who's dies in the beginning. Um, there are a couple of reasons for this, and let me explain myself. The first is that Tom Atkins comes off as really creepy in this when it just doesn't hold up very well. Um, there's a part where he sleeps with the woman, and well, spoiler, he sleeps with the woman. And when he wakes up, he asks her if she's 18, and she says, "Don't worry, I'm older than I look." That's a very creepy line that we kind of just glaze over. And we're just supposed to still like Tom Atkins, but he's like weirdly creepy. And he has a wife in this, and it's like weird that it's mentioned just because she's never mentioned past the initial like this one phone call. He just completely forgets her all the way. Never mentioned again in the story. Zero like phone calls, anything. So it's weird that they even introduced the character at all. Um, like he has a family that's just completely forgotten. It's like just completely written off with no mention of it ever again past the first thing. It's just odd to me. The pacing, it's a little too slow paced in some parts for me. It takes its time. I feel like a good 10 minutes, 15 minutes of this movie could be cut out and it'd be better for it. I wouldn't say that it's boring, but there are some filler scenes in this that really don't need to be there. But overall, it's a fun movie. Just wanted to mention those couple parts. I do highly recommend this for your Halloween watch. It's not one of those films that I would like say is something that I want to watch all the time, like all year round. But this is one that around Halloween time, it just matches that tone. This is a good movie to watch with like mixed company. If you have kids, 14 and up. I'm not a parent, but I would say 14 and up would be around that. Like it's something you can put on with the family, get have a movie night with some popcorn and stuff. It's a fun time. It's a good Halloween movie. Captures the spirit, puts you in the Halloween mood. Recommended. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that. This was day 8 of my 31 days of horror reviews. Come back tomorrow. I'm going to be doing another one, of course. I'm thinking of doing Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers. Um, just finished that one. It was a lot of fun too. But yeah. So, as always, I've been your host, Herschel Gillis, signing off for today. Zero thoughts, zero editing, zero planning, and zero brain cells. I'll be back tomorrow. Also, I was on the Sick on Cinema podcast this past week. Thank you for that if you guys are watching. So make sure to follow them and check out our episode. It was a lot of fun talking about JAV stuff. So, yeah. Garo Gang out. Thanks for watching, guys. Keep the notifications on. And if you haven't subscribed, thanks.